welcome to a brand new episode of Picks with Rich. I am Rant and Rich, and as always, I want to thank you for watching the show today. UFC 223 is right around the corner. It's going down this Saturday, April 7th, 2018 in... That's right, Brooklyn, New York. It's going to be headlined by Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov. It's going to be headlined by Max Holloway and Khabib Nurmagomedov. Of course, you guys probably already know Tony Ferguson is out due to knee injury, unfortunately. Really excited about that fight. But who else steps up to the plate but 145-pound champ Max Holloway? That's right, he's going to be taking on Nurmagomedov at 155 pounds for the belt. So he could end up at the end of the night being a dual champion, having belts at 145 pounds and 155 pounds. But don't sleep on Nurmagomedov. Nurmagomedov had a full training camp getting ready for Tony Ferguson. He is ready, all right? He has to make weight also. Let's get that straight too. But I think he's going to do it. He's very focused on the championship, on that belt. I think he has a good shot at beating Max Holloway, only because Holloway is coming in with only 6 days notice, and he's trying to cut weight. He didn't have a full training camp. He's coming off of an ankle injury, remember. He wasn't really ready to fight. He did get cleared by the doctors. He did get cleared by the UFC. So, I mean, technically, I guess he's ready to go as long as he makes weight. But mentally, it's kind of a lot for him and his team, I'm sure. So we're going to have to wait and see. Hopefully, everything goes well and it's a great fight. I'm really excited about this one. I was excited about the Tony Ferguson one, don't get me wrong. And I'd like to see Tony, once he takes care of his knee, fight the winner of this one, fight the champion, 155 pounds. But it's going to be some time, so we'll have to wait and see. Also, don't forget about the co-main event. We have Joanna Jedrzejczyk taking on Rose Namajunes for the second time. Remember, Rose beat Joanna back in November 2017 by knockout of everything, man. I thought she was going to win by submission or decision. Kind of crazy how it all went down. Again, congrats to Rose Namajunes. She's the champ, but that could all change come Saturday night. I think Joanna learned a lot, and I think she's going to be ready. So overall, the whole entire event looks great. A lot of big names. This could potentially be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, of the whole entire year. So make sure you don't miss UFC 223. Now, Picks with Rich, if you guys have not played along, here are the rules and regulations. All right, so next up, I'm going to introduce the contestants. We have the regulars, Mr. Willie J out of Boston, Massachusetts, Sega Genesis out of Denver, Colorado, and myself, Rant and Rich out of Southern California. We're going to be going head-to-head, 3-man tournament. Winner takes all. It's going down. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the main card. I'm going to give the fighters' names and the odds. I'm going to give my picks first. I know I usually go last, but I'm going to do something a little different this time. Then we're going to have Sega Genesis calling in. We tried to get him on FaceTime, but didn't work out. And then we're going to have Mr. Willie J calling in. So first fight, at 155 pounds, we have Al Iaquinta versus Paul Felder. Iaquinta's coming in as a slight favorite. He is a minus 115, and Paul Felder is a minus 105. The over-under is 2.5 rounds. Iaquinta is 13-3-1 in his professional career, 8-2 in the UFC, coming off of 5 wins. But don't sleep on Felder. Felder's professional career is 15-3, 7-3 in the UFC, coming off of 3 wins. He's got some mean elbows, but Iaquinta's a brawler. I mean, he's definitely a stand-up guy to be reckoned with. Paul Felder is too, so that's pretty much why I'm really excited about this fight. Could go to the mat. I don't see that happening, but you never know. Very competitive fight, but I am going to take the Irish Dragon on this one. Paul Felder, I think he's going to win by TKO under 2.5 rounds. So second fight, again at 155, we have Michael Chiesa versus Anthony Pettis. We have Chiesa coming in as the favorite, minus 140. Anthony Pettis is the slight dog at a plus 120. Over-under is 2.5 rounds. Chiesa is 14-3 in his professional career, 7-3 in the UFC, whereas Pettis is 20-7 in his professional career, 7-6 in the UFC. Both coming off of losses. This should be a competitive fight, even though Chiesa does have the advantage on the ground. Great BJJ practitioner. Still, at the end of the day, I think Pettis is going to get it done. As long as he doesn't get taken down, I still feel that Pettis will get it done, and I think he's going to win by decision. Next up, at 145 pounds, we have Renato Moicano versus Calvin Carter. Calvin Carter is coming in at a slight favorite, minus 135. Moicano is a plus 115. The over-under is 2.5 rounds. Moicano is 11-1 in his professional career, 3-1 in the UFC. He's coming off of a loss back in July to Brian Ortega. Now, that's not surprising. Ortega is shown his colors. He's climbing through the ranks. He's taking care of business, so that's not surprising. Calvin Carter, on the other hand, 18-2 in his professional career, 2-0 in the UFC. He just fought in January, so he's fresh coming off of that win against Shane Burgos. I'm actually going to go with Carter on this one. Hometown guy from New England. I'm going to take Carter by TKO under 2.5 rounds. So co-main event, 115 pounds for the title. Rose Namajunes versus Joanna Jedrzejczyk. We have Jedrzejczyk as a slight favorite, minus 120. Namajunes is a plus 110. The over-under is 3.5 rounds. Namajunes is 7-3 in her professional career, 5-2 in the UFC. Of course, she's coming off of that TKO win against Joanna. They fought. This is the second fight, guys, coming off of that TKO win back in November. Joanna is 14-1 in her professional career, 8-1 in the UFC, and her only loss is Rose. I think she learned a lot from that last fight. I think it kind of shocked the world. I thought that if Rose had a chance to win against Joanna, it was going to be either by decision or by submission, and she beat her in her own game, beat her by TKO, and she proved a lot of people wrong. But still, I think Joanna is she's superior on the feet. Hopefully it doesn't go to the ground. Joanna has great takedown defense. I can see Rose putting a lot of pressure on her and going a different route this time, but as long as Joanna can stay on the feet, I think she'll get the win. So I'm going to take Joanna by decision over 3.5 rounds. All right, so main event. This is the most interesting fight of the night at 155 pounds. Max Holloway stepping in for Tony Ferguson. For the belt, he's going to take on Khabib Nurmagomedov. Nurmagomedov is a huge favorite. Now, again, this is a title fight. This is very important for both fighters. Everything's going against Max Holloway on this one. Only 6 days notice. We don't even know what he's walking around at. So it's going to be important, I think, that he gets the weight down, as healthy as possible. Hopefully, he's somewhere near that 155. Even if he has to cut 10 pounds down in 5 days or 6, but technically 5 days before the weigh-ins, I think he stands a shot. I really do. I just hope it's not too much on his body, and I hope he can bounce back by fight night. Like I said, Khabib Nurmagomedov, big favorite, minus 510. Max Holloway is a big underdog, plus 405. As far as the over and under go, this is early in the week, remember. They didn't have an over and under quite yet. They only had, is this fight going to go to decision, or is this fight not going to go to decision? So that's what we're going to go off of. Bouncing back to Max Holloway, he's 19-3 in his professional career, 15-3 in the UFC. Nurmagomedov is undefeated at 25-0, 9-0 in the UFC. This is a tough one, again, and it's only tough because Max is tough. You know, he's the champ. He's the featherweight champ for a reason. Call me crazy, but I think Holloway's going to get it done. I'm going to take the big dog on this one. I'm going to say Holloway's going to beat Nurmagomedov by submission, and I'm going to say no, that this fight does not go to decision. So next up, calling in King Sega Genesis. All right, so we have King Sega Genesis on the line. He's going to be giving his picks. What's up, King?
Not much. How you doing, Rich?
Doing pretty good. I'm giving you all the respect in the world by calling you King, even though you're not going to be King for that much longer. Of course, after I win picks with Rich, 223, I'm going to take it back. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. We've heard it before, and it's happened, too.
We both know that I'm going to be king as long as I want to be king.
You're going to be...
You can take over you can take the crown back when I decide to stop calling into your show.
Ooh, faced! Scratch mode it.
It's going to be a great card coming up. I am excited for this. So, yeah, let's do some picks.
All right, so first up, 155-pound, we have Al Iaquinta versus Paul Felder. Iaquinta's coming in at the minus 115. Paul Felder's a minus 105. It's 2.5 rounds for the over-under. Who do you have?
I got Iaquinta knocking out Felder, so that in the under. Felder's on a hot streak now. I think he's won 3 in a row, but Iaquinta is just on another level. That dude's going to knock him out.
Okay, so second up we have Michael Chiesa versus Anthony Pettis. Chiesa's coming in at the favorite, minus 140. Pettis is the dog, surprisingly, at the plus 120. 2.5 rounds over under. Who do you got?
See, you saying surprisingly is really what makes me know that you're not going to win here, because Chase is going to win. It's not a surprise. Chase is going to tap him out. Pettis taps. We got the under. So Chase is sub and under.
So you're that confident in Chiesa's ground game that he's really going to beat Pettis?
Showtime's going to overcommit to some stupid off-the-wall kick or something like that, and Pettis is just going to rip his arm off.
Okay, now they're both coming off of losses, so I think they're pretty square in that field. But I think I don't know. I think Pettis has the advantage on the stand-up.
Pettis definitely has the advantage on the stand-up, but I think Pettis he's going to do what he always does, in that he's going to go to put on a show, and that's where his downfall is. He's going to go to put on a show, and he's going to make a mistake, and and Chase is going to make him pay for it.
All right. So up next we have at 145 pounds, Renato Moicano versus Calvin Carter. Carter is coming in at the favorite, minus 135. Moicano's a plus 115. It's 2.5 rounds for the over/under. Who do you got?
I'm going to take Carter by decision on the over. This guy's quickly becoming one of my favorite fighters. He's just a workhorse. He's out there. He's been doing this a long time. He worked his way into the UFC, and he's been underestimated a lot. I know he's the favorite now, but I think he's going to take this one also.
Co-main event at 115 pounds, Rose Namajunes versus Joanna Jedrzejczyk, their second fight. We have Jedrzejczyk coming in as the favorite at a minus 120. Namajunes is a plus 110. This over-under is 3.5 rounds. Who do you got?
I got Joanna on this one. I think the odds makers were right when the odds opened with her as a relatively heavy favorite, and I think a lot of money came in on Rose because of hype of her last win over Joanna. I think Joanna underestimated her before, and Rose got lucky. I think Joanna wins in a decision. Joanna if Joanna can get out of the first or second round, there's no chance. She's got the gas tank that nobody in that division has ever thought they could have.
Okay. All right, so main event time at 155 pounds, men's lightweight. This is also for a belt. I didn't say that on that last one. Rose Namajunes, Joanna Jedrzejczyk. That's for a belt. We have on this fight Max Holloway versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. Nurmagomedov's coming in as a pretty big favorite, a minus 510. Holloway's at a plus 405.
This is a fight I've wanted to see for a while, and it's not in the way I want to see it. I think Khabib's going to win this easily. Max Holloway is a great fighter. That guy can bang, but it's not fair to compare him to Khabib on 1 week's notice. Holloway pulled out of a fight a couple months ago because of injuries. He's been rehabbing. He's a great fighter, and he's down for whatever, but Khabib's going to knock him out. It's not going to decision. Khabib's going to knock him out. I would love to see – I want to see the second on this and see them both with a full camp where Holloway gets a chance to prepare for Khabib. But Khabib's going to take him down, ground him, pound the crap out of him, and knock him out.
All right, man. Well, hey, good luck. We have you down.
Good luck to you too. I hope you get out of that basement into second place this time.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you later.
All right. Yeah. Bye. All right. So last but not least, I'm actually going to be reading off Mr. Willie J's picks. Tried to get him on the show. We couldn't do it this time, but hopefully next time we'll be able to have him on. So we start off with Al Iaquinta versus Paul Felder. Mr. Willie J is going to take Al Iaquinta by TKO, and he thinks it's going to go under 2.5 rounds. Second, we had Michael Chiesa versus Anthony Pettis. He's going to take Michael Chiesa by submission, and he says this fight's going to go under 2.5 rounds. Third fight, we have Renato Moicano versus Calvin Carter. He's going to take Carter by decision, and of course, he thinks it's going to go over 2.5 rounds. Co-main event, Rose Namajunes versus Joanna Jedrzejczyk. Mr. Willie J is going to take Jedrzejczyk by decision, obviously over 3.5 rounds. Main event for Mr. Willie J, he is going to take Khabib Nurmagomedov by TKO. All right, guys, so that's that. All our picks are in. I hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, if you haven't already, subscribe, share, like, comment, all the above. And as always, until next time, Rant and Rich here, signing out from sunny SoCal. I'm out of here. Latest.